So if you woke up this morning and made yourself a nice hot cup of coffee, you may have sat there for a moment looking deep into the distance and thinking how good it is to be alive. And you are correct, with all ups and downs, living is an amazing and yet very rare occurrence, at least outside of our planet. This wonderful blue and green marble that we call home is teeming with life on every step, from the frozen tundra to magical jungles and captivating deserts, and yet when we leave the surface of it, there is nothing that even remotely resembles it. Good day, my friends. My name is Nikola Tomic, and in today's video we're going to talk about why is it so hard to find another habitable planet. Now, before we set off to the stars in a search for alien civilizations, we have to determine why is our own planet so good at sustaining life so we can use that as a reference. Firstly, in order for a planet to host living organisms capable of evolving and creating an advanced society, it needs to be solid so their inhabitants can stand on it. Apart from this nifty trait, rocky planets such as Earth are composed of various minerals and metals that can help us by providing actual ground for our food, river and sea bed for water, and material for building tools and different equipment. Now, you may say that this is technically not essential because in theory an advanced civilization can set up a sort of orbiting station in the atmosphere of a gas planet and possibly sustain itself by utilizing those gases paired with the radiation from a nearby star. Although theoretically possible, this would also mean that this alien species originated somewhere else on a planet much more similar to our Earth and came to this newly found gassy home in a process of space exploration and colonization. So for the purposes of this video, we're going to focus on planets that develop their life from scratch. Now, being able to stand on the firm ground is great, no doubt about that, but if you want to survive more than a minute, you will also need to breathe. Again, we're blessed because our planet has plenty of air in its atmosphere, more specifically oxygen, but the most important fact is that it's capable of retaining and protecting that atmosphere mostly thanks to its magnetic field. See, although our sun provides us with an important source of energy for all life on Earth, it also poses danger via powerful radiation and solar storms that eject these streams of energy directly towards us. Thankfully, the magnetic field generated by the internal forces of our planet encapsulates us and deflects most of harmful solar particles in a donut-shaped magnetic field known as the Van Allen belts. If it wasn't for this, Earth's surface will quickly go from looking like the Garden of Eden to replicating a barren wasteland with very low oxygen and a ton of radiation such as Mars or Venus. Now, moving on to third factor, as some of you who own businesses or homes know, location. See, just like you need a perfect location for running a successful business, you need the same for developing a successful life form. Water is an essential ingredient in the life cycle of our planet, primarily because, well, we have to drink it. Again, lucky for us, water is in liquid form on our planet, at least for the most part, thus we are able to utilize it with minimal effort. This, however, is not always the case. As we are aware, even on our planet, water can be found in solid form, especially on higher elevation, as well as on Earth's polar regions. Some planets, however, are so far from the stars that they're orbiting so that all water they possess is frozen solid. Needless to say, this will make the development on any advanced life apart from a microbial level almost impossible. On the opposite side of the spectrum is a planet that is too close to the star that heat on the surface will simply turn any liquid water into gas or vapor, thus producing a similar or even worse environment for life. The ideal scenario which our Earth happens to be in is the so-called Goldilocks zone or habitable zone. This is an area or a belt that is just about perfectly far or close to the star that allows for the water to exist in its liquid form. This distance varies greatly based on the size of the star and the amount of heat it emits. This is a reason why it is important for astronomers and scientists to determine the temperature of the star before trying to figure out where its habitable zone is. Next factor that we have to consider when looking for life in space is the size of the planet. See, as you probably know, the force of gravity of a certain object is determined by its mass. So the bigger the object, or in this case the planet, the greater the gravitational pull is. Now, here on Earth, our bodies evolved to allow us the freedom of movement and the ability to stand based on the gravity that is exerted by our planet. Obviously, this will change if life developed on a larger or a smaller planet the same way it did here, but because this is all we know thus far, the Earth-sized planet are the main suspect when it comes to exploration. The last factor that I'm going to mention today is the orbital defenses of the planet. And no, I don't mean some alien dude shooting a large space cannon at anything that approaches. What I mean by this are other preferably larger planets that are in the same star system, but by the power of its gravitational pull attract most of the asteroids that will otherwise end up extinguishing most of the life on our imaginary alien world. In the case of Earth, we are lucky to have Jupiter, a very large gas giant that acts like a personal bodyguard of ours by absorbing most of the space rockets headed our way. So at this point, you're probably getting the picture on why is it so hard to find another Earth. There are so many different factors that contribute to a planet being the one. And if you exclude even one of those, that will almost certainly mean that the life cannot be found there. Although there are billions and billions of candidates out there, finding a perfect one is far from being easy, which will make us appreciate what we have even more. So folks, this brings us to the end of another video. It's a very captivating and interesting topic. I was always fascinated with this and the possibility that we can find another Earth. If you like what I do and you want to support me, you can consider liking and subscribing to this channel. I also have a link to my Patreon account down in the description and probably pinned comment below, so you can go ahead and check that out. As some of you may know, I post one short video per day, and usually on Wednesday I do one of these longer videos on various topics from history, geography, science, and pretty much anything that I have remote interest in. Once again, thank you very much. You can watch some other videos that I made, and in the meantime, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.